Okay, let's try this again. So this is my B-side chat. I said that I was going to do it after Messages in the Madness. Had some issues streaming it up because I it kept wanting to take me back to my Messages in the Madness page, and I wanted to play this to my main page as well. So I wasn't going to use the software that I'm using now. But anyway, let's talk about it. Tonight, what I wanted to talk about was why I do not talk about politics and religion on or off stage, depending on who I'm talking to. And it's a really, really touchy subject. It's a very touchy subject. And in our current political and climate, I will say, man, it's destroying things. I was so glad that I mean, before I get into the rest of these notes I have, we finally just got through our primaries, and the ads on TV were so negative and downtrodden. And I mean, it was nothing positive, uplifting, anything like that. And people, and then you watch various videos from various sources, and the things that people are saying and doing are they're so. I mean, it's not. I know it's not the first time in history, but the things that people are saying and doing is just so vile and mean to each other. Talking politics and talking religion here as of late has been become so divisive. I mean, we used to be able to make as a comedian, we used to be able to make jokes about such things on stage. Now we can't do that anymore without upsetting somebody or hurting their feelings or pissing them off, and they want to have a private conversation with you um after your set. And then if you talk about religion in the job, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know how they feel. You don't know what they think. It can cause some really issues. So whether anybody watches this live or not, or whenever you decide to watch this, I hope that I give you a little piece of something to take with you as we get into this political season. Because the main thing for me is I don't want anybody to lose any family or friends or have any unnecessary arguments or discussion based on politics and religion. Because you'd be surprised. Let me just get into these messages. So, discussing religion and politics can often lead to heated debates and conflict. While these topics are crucial to our personal identity and societal structure, they there are compelling reasons why some choose to avoid them in certain settings, particularly in casual situations, professional conversations. Yeah. So tonight, I found a few really good reasons why avoiding these discussions on religion and politics might be wise. Because these days, I'm sorry, I just say it like it is. People are thin skinned. Everybody thinks they're right. Everybody thinks they got the right answers. Some people think they know everything. And if you're not on the same side that they're on, there's a problem. They think you're crazy. They think you're nuts. From my perspective, I accept everybody for who they are. That's you, cool. Be who you be. Me, I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. I got a friend of mine who I think he's trying to convert me onto a particular party, but I just had to finally tell him, "Look, man, I love you, but I'm not going to talk politics with you. I'm just not going to do it because we don't see eye to eye." And I know I'm not the only one, and this has been weighing on my heart. So that's the reason why I decided to just do it live and talk about it. Where it goes is where it goes. But I'm just being real. Now, I will clear this up. I'm not here to talk about any particular party or candidate or religion. I'm not. Now, if you want to know my situation, I was a Republican for 30 plus years. Yes, I was. I am now a independent because I'm able to think for myself. I used to vote party lines. No, I now think for myself. So with that being said, I'm gonna read this comment over here. Hey, Miss Charlotte, thanks for stopping by. Candy says, my dad always told me you don't discuss politics, religion, or sex. He said those three topics start wars. And he was absolutely right. Very smart man. Ryan says religion is a label. God and Jesus should be gladly talked about and welcomed. They should bring us together, not divide us. God is love, true enough. But Ryan, you can't force your religion onto someone. We can't do that. Not any we never could force it. But don't get me wrong, as I said a few minutes ago, people are so thin-skinned anymore. Yes, I will say it out loud. God is love and God is the head of my life. I am a true believer. But guess what? Not everybody is, Ryan. Just real talk. So, talking politics and religion is, as I say, religion and politics are deeply personal and often emotional topics. Um, Conversations about these subjects can quickly escalate into arguments, creating unnecessary tension and hostility. So, when beliefs are strongly held, disagreement can be perceived as a personal attack, leading to conflicts rather than constructive dialogue. Because, see, some people wear their politics like they wear their religion. Their politics is their religion, and they intertwine. And some people just can't see that or understand that. And Catholics don't think that Lutherans are right, and Lutherans don't think that Baptists are right. Jews don't think that Christians are right. Everybody believes that they have the answers. Democrats think the Republicans are crazy, and the Republicans think the Democrats are crazy. And half of us wonder why the hell is there a Green Party? Everybody has their diverse beliefs. In any group, there is likely to be a wide range of beliefs and opinions. Being able to accept those is one thing. Discussing religion or politics can alienate those with different perspectives, leading to division rather than unity. In environments where harmony is essential, like the workplace, it's true. It's very, very true. Such discussions can create rifts that are hard to mend. Now, Ryan, I'm with you on this. I'm gonna put this one up on the screen. Um, it won't let me click it to the screen for whatever reason. Okay, there we go. So Ryan says, I'm not at all. I will gladly talk about it if anyone wants to talk. I'm with you there. Now, Ryan, what you don't know about me is I'm an ordained minister. So I know we cannot convert someone. We have to find that, we got to find that ourselves. For someone who has had ins and out relationships with him, my trials and tribulations have allowed me to see the bigger picture in time. We have to go through it to grow through it. And you're absolutely right, Ryan. But at the same time, people got to be willing to have that conversation. It's the same thing with religion. I mean, with politics, people have to be willing to have those conversations. We can't just force those conversations on the people. They have to want to have that conversation with you. Now that makes a big, big difference. Now, if you're supporter of, if say you support this party or this candidate and this person supports this party and this candidate, cool. Y'all of the same school. Y'all should go ahead, talk, have that conversation. But that is not everybody. That is not everybody. I had a guy say to me one day, I have a friend of mine who I love dearly, but I tend to not come around their friends because their friends said something to me that they did not realize was offensive to me. It made sense to them, but I found it very offensive. So then, therefore, for me to not need to call Mr. Net for bail money, I just avoid them. I avoid them and I avoid those conversations because, see, people really don't know how to respect personal boundaries. Many people consider their religious beliefs and their political views to be private matters, as they should be. They should be that. I don't care who you are. But pressing someone to discuss these topics can be seen as intrusive, maybe even disrespectful. So it's important to respect others' rights to keep their personal beliefs to themselves, especially in settings where these two views they may not be relevant. I have a Jehovah's Witness in my neighborhood, lives down the street and around the corner. We had a conversation one time, and he still comes by and knocks on the door. Admittedly, sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not. But I don't engage in conversation with him because we see things differently. And I feel like I don't want to waste his time because I understand his religion because I was a part of it at one point in time. Not because I wanted to, it was by force, but that's a whole nother situation. So I understand a lot more than he probably thinks that I do. But to keep from being disrespectful, I don't answer the door. I don't have that conversation. I don't allow myself to be in that conversation with him. So let's see. Roger says, my sister and my niece beliefs are opposite of mine, but I don't bring it up. Our relationships has went downhill. The post comments, etc., going against our beliefs. I see everyone as their own person and own beliefs. Don't force on others. And you're absolutely right. You cannot force your beliefs onto others. That's the reason why I'm even doing this tonight, is because somebody needs to hear this. Because you guys have heard, if you've heard my comedy, you've heard me say the one problem that we have in this country, one challenge that we have in this country is that we don't know each other. And the media is dividing us and keeping us divided because we're not doing exactly what we're doing tonight, having conversations. So Roger says, I try to get along with family. I get that. And that's awesome. Ryan, you say respect, kindness, and understanding is lacking in the human race these days. There, there are not a lot of us willing to take that time. And again, you're right. There's not. You're 200% right. If that was, yeah, you're right. But there's a lot of great people still out there in the world. I mean, in my humble opinion, I think there should be 200 people watching this live right now because right now the respect and kindness and understanding is lacking. People are walking around like through life like this, trying not to get hit in the head. But while they doing this, they leaving their body open and they getting beat to hell with politics and religion, or the religion of politics, if you will. Um, Ryan says, "Oh, there's a lot of good people out there," and you're right. You're well. Thank you, sir. Imagine how much more we could do together. Yeah, imagine that. So that's why I do messages in the madness. The reason why I wrote my book. Is the reason why I do comedy. It's the reason why we're having this conversation right now, my friend. Is preserving relationships is one of the best reasons I could think of, not that no to avoid these political and religious conversations. Because see, friendships and family relationships and professional connections can be strained or even destroyed by disagreements over politics and religion, or the and so to maintain healthy and positive relationships, it might be best to steer clear of these potentially these divisive topics and focus instead on sharing interest in common ground. Because see, when you can stand together, when you can stand on the same ground together, it makes life a whole lot easier. Nobody wants to be somewhere where they are uncomfortable. And quite frankly, as I get older, I find that if I'm going to be in a situation where somebody has to be uncomfortable, it's not going to be me. Pretty much, it's not going to be me. The other part of this equation is it helps us to avoid miscommunication. So, religion and politics are complex subjects that can be easily misunderstood. What one person says may be interpreted differently by another, leading to confusion or somebody being offended. I have a tell when I get offended. The first words out of my mouth is like, "Oh, let me tell you something. See, what's about to happen is." That's when you know. But people do get offended. Sometimes people get offended just from hearing conversations that they are not even a part of. Yeah. Miscommunication can quickly turn a well-intentioned discussion into a source of contention. You could be having a conversation with you and your buddy and piss somebody else off in the restaurant 2 tables down. Yes, people are soft. And people walk around with their feelings right there, right there on their shoulder. And they just waiting for somebody to knock that stick or that rock off their shoulder, whether it's intentional or not. So Roger says, stand for what you believe in, even if it isn't what your neighbor, father, family, or friends believe. Accept difference. You're right, Roger. I accept you for who you are and what you are. At the end of the day, you are Roger. I am Vernon, or you call me Longhorn. You're Roger. I'm Longhorn. Our views and beliefs and thoughts are completely different. Our backgrounds are completely different. Different. Where I came from and where you came from are completely different. But we're more alike than we are unalike. We have a lot more in common than we realize or that we ever think about. So Roger also says, not everyone is gonna agree 100%, accept it, and have a backbone. Touche, my friend. Touche. I couldn't agree with you more. So these discussions, as we get closer and closer to as we move forward in this election season, the reason why we avoid the politics and the religious conversations, if we can, is because of the risk of judgment. Discussing religion or politics can open the door to judgment, both given and received. People may feel judged for their beliefs, or they may judge others, even unintentionally. So just because you say, hey, I'm XYZ, yeah, people have to accept you for who you are, but they automatically assume certain things about you that may or may not be true. And avoiding that, I think, is important. No, I know. I mean, I know what you're talking about, Roger, about the backbone. We good. So, yeah, people feel judged, and they judge others, even unintentionally. It creates some tight situations. I've been in more of them than I care to speak about because, yeah, my job is to travel, and I'm around a lot of different people. So what ends up happening is this can create an uncomfortable environment where individuals feel the need to defend their views or criticize others. I think they call that shots fired. So you got to maintain a neutral environment to the best. That's why I don't get on stage and do politics. I don't do, and I've had people, hey man, how come you don't tell jokes about X, Y, Z? Because I'm not gonna. I just don't do that because you can easily alienate half the room, depending on where you're at. You can alienate the whole damn room. But my views are my views, and my views may not be the next guy's view. Maybe we should save those for when we are in community amongst people, like-minded people. So maintaining that neutral environment, especially in a professional or public setting, it's often important to maintain a neutral environment where everyone feels welcome and respected. So, discussing religion or politics can make some people feel excluded or uncomfortable, which can be detrimental to a group and the overall morale. You got to focus on common goals, whether in the workplace, in your community, or within family. Focusing on common goals and shared interests can lead to more productive and positive interactions. So, religion and politics, while they are important, they can and will distract people from what is important, what's right there in front of them. You may be there to feed the needy, but if you're talking politics, somebody's gonna be hungry because y'all gonna start a fight. There's gonna be a fight. It may not be physical, but it's gonna be some words. So it causes us to get distracted from our goals and lead to unnecessary division. And then it causes us to by keeping these separate, politics and religion is just not. If you're not, as I say, if you're not birds of a feather flocking together, it's best that we stay away from those conversations because, see, what happens is discussing religion and politics can lead to the reinforcement of stereotypes, as people may make assumptions about others based on their beliefs. So, this can perpetuate misunderstandings and prejudice, further dividing people rather than bringing them together. I do not believe that everybody that follows this one particular person is like that person. And I don't believe that who follows this person is like that person because I know too many of this one and this one and this one in the Green Party, the Independent Party, the the whatever, and they're not just like the person at the front of their party. So I can't say just because you support a particular party that this is how you are. Just because you tell me you're a Pentecostal, I don't have to believe that you are this kind of way, this way or that way. You tell me you're a Catholic, I don't believe that every Catholic likes to drink wine and stale crackers and go to mass to confess their sins. I just don't. I judge people for who they are, and I accept them for that. So Ryan says, he says, we need to collaborate and I need to get you on my podcast sometimes in the future. We can have some fun, great, real conversations. Yeah, Ryan, let's do that. Happy to. So, this avoiding the stereotypes thing, this can perpetuate misunderstandings and prejudices. and it divides people rather than bringing them together. And the last thing we need right now is more division. That's the last thing we need. I know I jokingly say, you know, yeah, when the aliens come back, they really not going to care what your religious party is, what your political party is, or what your religion is, what color you are. They eating everybody. You can't stand up in front of them and tell them I am part of this party or I am a my religion is blah 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 blah. I'm like, ooh, oh, so you're a Baptist? Yeah, you're great with barbecue sauce. I'm being silly, but you understand my point. Last but not least of my points for the night, y'all, is it reduces stress. Oh my God, it reduces stress. Wouldn't you say we all have enough stress in our lives already? Can I get anybody else want some more stress? We got extra stress over here. It's free. Would you like some more stress? Nobody needs any more stress. But conversations about religion and politics can be emotionally draining and stressful. So, by avoiding these topics, individuals can reduce unnecessary stress and focus on more uplifting or constructive subjects, contributing to a more positive and peaceful environment. How about that? Yeah, how about that? How about a little positivity? Anybody want some more positivity? Double scoops, free. I got you. This is why we avoid these conversations if we're not amongst like-minded people, because words are words hurt worse than bullets. Bullet wounds heal. Words, they don't, not so much. They stay with you for a while. They stay with you for a long while. So, um, Ryan says, "United we stand, divided we fall. Never more true than today's times. Aliens haven't returned yet because all the crazies and stupidity out here." Ryan, that we can have a conversation about that, but they've been here. They never left. They've been here for a long time. That's a whole nother story. How do I know that? Yeah, like I said, it's a whole nother story. We'll have to talk about that another time. But let's see what you got here. It says, I like the messages after the madness. Do it more. Oh, you like the B side chat? Okay. Well, when I have a conversation that I think is worthy of B side, we'll do that. Okay. Thank you for that, Roger. Um, Stay happy, stay positive, stay in that mindset. That is my motto. And you know what? You're right. That is the mindset. Um, People ask me how am I doing. I tell them I'm just shy of awesome. Just shy of awesome. Or people ask me, hey man, how you doing? I mean, if I was doing any better, it'd be two of me. I had a supervisor tell me, you use too many words. I'm like, I'm getting old. I'm trying to use all of them because I don't know if I'm gonna get them all out before I die. So I'm trying to use every one of them. I don't know how many more I got, but I'm happy to share them with you. So there's so much more we could do together. I'm not about all the name calling and the dirt throwing and all that negativity. I'm not with none of it because I don't see none of it helping any of our people, helping our kids, lowering our taxes, feeding anybody, helping somebody put roof over their head, reduce their debts. I don't see how any of that name calling does any of that. I don't see. I don't understand. So I don't ask me what compelled me to do this tonight, but I hope that you've enjoyed it. So I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get up out of here. While religion and politics are undeniably important, and they are important, they are very important topics. They are also deeply personal. They are very personal. It can be a source of intense emotion and conflict. In many situations, especially in mixed or professional company, it could be a problem. It could be, well, problem's not a word that I like to say, like to use. It can be an unresolved challenge. No, it's a damn problem, is what it is. Okay, fine. I don't like to use the word, but that's what it is. It's a problem. It makes people feel a certain kind of way. So it may be best to avoid these discussions to maintain harmony and respect, people's boundaries, personal boundaries. Remember those personal boundaries and focus on shared interests. Why are we here? What are we here for? What are we here to do? Now, if you're at a meeting to take over the world, then you guys, that's what y'all should be focused on. Yep, this is how we're going to take over the world. However, when these conversations are necessary or unavoidable, and they sometimes they can be unavoidable, um, we have to approach them with respect and openness and a willingness to listen. And we have to be willing to listen and we have to be willing to share. And this can help mitigate some of the risk as we talked about. You just never know. Maybe we may be able to see eye to eye on something. But until then, man, politics and religion are like oil and water. They best not, they best serve separately. So I thank y'all. Y'all have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for checking me out on the B side chat.